popping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Like a Monday, Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now Etling. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go.
Back to throw Etling. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll throw it here. Etling. And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback is tested. This is when we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
11, 20, 20. Hey, express, express.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 20.
Pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now it's Ryan. Bryant with a catch right side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
Well, warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Flex round! Flex round!
Bentley. Flush to his right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal.
Ohio! Let's go!
On play action, they'll throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. From the 10-yard line, here's second and goal.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
He'll get it up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Flex round! Flex round!
Here's Hetling to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are in for 6. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now Ryan on first down. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Going for the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kiki QT, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking deep. He's got him in. Complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Houston. David Johnson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. They got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to be going in fourth.
And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's go! Grind 38! Grind 38!
Edling to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's go!
Looking to throw. The open man is Smith. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Ohio! Ohio!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. It's a loss of 8 there on the 1st down play. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They're going to look to throw. Being chased out left. Airing it out deep for Smith. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play on third down for the Texans. 45 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
39.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, it's Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. Well, that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. A nice little juke. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
3 down, 3 down.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Check 24, check 24. Hey, watch 21. Get up.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 35. So we've come upon halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. To throw is Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st down, Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard.
And the pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
On 2nd down, Johnson bulldozes past him, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and it'll be 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Tyler Davison getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Operating from the gun, Ryan, he'll let it go deep for Freeman, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. There he goes again. He's still on his feet. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run it again with Yeldon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All days. Woo! Let's get it.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go. What? 90.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline. But what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 42 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Danny Etling keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Texans add on. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now from Jacksonville. And adding on to their lead, the Jaguars have scored again. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Tight right. Hey, Tuesday. Hey, Express.
Now Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
20, 54, south. Wait. 21. Kill. Gun. Kill. Turn up. Go.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Gun. Check. 4 down. Gun. Left.
Now Ryan on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons claw one back. Point after, right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams. The spark that often wins games.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there and also a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Let's go.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And now running right through it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
Back to throw, Etling. He's going to fire one deep over the... And this is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans continue to pour it on. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Alert! Hey, gun.
Here's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up and making sure it was a catch.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And an alley to run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now look at him go. 30, Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Now Ryan on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bryant. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Ryan will throw again. Steps away to his left. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Falcons on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Throwing again. Ryan. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's 10th carry for Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Gatling to throw it. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now Etling. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And it's a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out. And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to try and go deep again. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play. You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play. And incomplete on the deep ball. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it. They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd down, Ryan. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Tyler Davison able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. The left side completion to Jones. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Johnson. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go to Johnson again. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Etling to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays. The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right? Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry. Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust? Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense. They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number.